Welcome to the WFNL Show presented by Arrow Transport, proud naming rights partner of the Western Football Netball League. Round 7 in the books in senior footy and netball. Round 8 coming up. It was National Volunteers Week as well. 3 cheers to volunteers. They are the backbone of footy clubs everywhere. Community footy clubs wouldn't run without their volunteers. So well done to all the volunteers involved in the WFNL. We have a new face on the podcast this week. Cal Rowe was a late out, concussed on the weekend. We'll get to that when we recap St Vincent Private Hospital, Werribee Senior Women's. But Andrew Wilson, Willow, welcome.
Thank you very much. Hope Cal's doing all right. Yeah. Concussed on the weekend. Not great for her.
Yeah, she's up and about. She was playing in the ruck in the weekend. Spitter, welcome to you as well. Welcome back to the show.
Yeah, cheers.
Let's get into our recap of the weekend that was. And Willow, giving you all the new face here, open the batting. It was our match of the round, Point Cook Central's Altona. Unfortunately, didn't play out like that in terms of the margin.
No, it was a pretty dominant performance by Altona in the end, winning by 80 points. They dominated pretty much from midway through the opening quarter to the final bounce. Up forward, Will Crittenden and Jake Ropey dominated with 5 goals apiece each, and they were terrific. While down back, you had Connor Bully. I think he took about 18, 19 marks for the afternoon. He was terrific down back. And the return of Cooper Atchison was massive for Altona. He had come back from back surgery after only playing half a game in the reserves the week before. So he was brilliant, and congratulations to the Vikings on their second win of the season. Unfortunately for Point Cook Central, still without a win so far this season.
Hoppers crossing Albion. Hoppers we've spoken about a bit on the podcast, but they got an important win, given that middle part of the ladder in TIV Division 1 is so competitive right now, Spitter.
Yeah, definitely. I think Albion will be pretty disappointed with what they served up on the weekend, especially that first quarter, go through goalless. Hoppers Crossing, no credit to them because they were in desperate need of a win, and to get one at home in an important game and stay in touch with the top 5 was very important for them. Taryn Thomas was pretty active up forward, kicking 3. Good win.
And Parkside, they keep rolling. 3 wins in a row. They've just started to separate themselves. They've got a big month of footy coming up, and we'll talk with Chris Muratore on the audio version of this podcast. But they've got Helpers this weekend, and then Caroline Springs and Werribee as well in the next month or so. So we're really going to find out if they are genuine contenders this season.
Yeah, they have recruited well, Parkside, this year. They knew they needed some help for Tom Condon up forward. They've got that. They've got Capoletti and Morris up there who are kicking goals for them. So they're definitely a side to watch throughout the rest of the season.
Werribee Districts, Spotswood. Spotswood in a bit of a slump at the moment. Werribee Districts, as you'd expect, were too strong for them on the weekend.
Yeah, Werribee's flying at the moment. They've won 7 on the trot. It's a fantastic way to start the year. I don't think anyone would complain about that. And you mentioned Spotswood, who have probably fallen away a little bit or fallen off from where they were last year. They've lost a few in a row now. They've got a really big and important game coming up this week. To concede 10 goals to 3 in the second half, they're going to struggle to win games of footy. So,
Daniel Schibeci, 150 games for Werribee Districts, his junior club. His dad, Tony, the president of Spotswood, and his brother Connor, who he played on across the weekend. So got a win in the Schibeci battle there, the Schibeci derby we can call it. But those 2 teams have kind of flipped the script in the past couple of years, haven't they, Willow?
Yeah, it was all Spotswood during the 2010s, and then Werribee Districts came into the competition and they've missed finals since then. But it's Spotswood now have fallen back a little bit, and you can just sort of book in Werribee Districts for finals, even like top 3 now pretty much every season, the way they're rolling. Their junior talents is great. They play basically 23, 22 points every week, so they've got a lot of depth at the club.
Yeah, Daniel Schibeci will join us on the audio version of this podcast as well. Let's roll into Div 2, Spitter. You're at a game on the weekend.
Yeah, sure was. I went down and watched West Footscray versus the Western Rams. They had Sponsors Day down there, so it was nice to sit on the Waterworks Melbourne Plumbing and Gas wing. And
the showers were hot afterwards?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. And spectate from there. So it was good. And, I've been involved at West Footscray for quite a few years as a player, coach and sponsor. And it's a great club. They're very community-minded. So it was a really fun day.
And Sunshine Heights, they've been involved in a couple of close ones. They had a draw against Braybrook a couple of rounds ago. 40-point win over Tarneed on the weekend.
Yeah, they got the job done, didn't they? They're always going to win that game, but well done to Tarneet, whacked on 80 points, their highest score of the season. So little wins for Tarneet. They can win quarters, or I don't know what goals they have set internally, but just things like that is a good sign for the club. Hopefully they can build, because they really need a win. It's been quite a while for them.
And Wyndham Vale against Braybrook, they were tested, but Wyndham Vale too strong in the end.
Yeah, just too strong in the end. I think their overall quality at Wyndham Vale, they're sitting on top of the ladder for a reason. Braybrook have been quite good throughout the year and a really competitive outfit, and to only go down by 16 points, I suppose, at Wyndham Vale, a tough task to go there and play good footy, and they did. Won the last quarter, which I think they'll take plenty of positives out of, but ultimately just a little bit too much quality across the board for Wyndham Vale.
Any other games performances you wanted to highlight from across the weekend there, fellas?
Oh, you got Cam Morrison played his 300th game for Wyndham Vale, which is a terrific performance to be a junior and now senior player at the club. So well done to Cameron on that performance on the weekend. 300 games is a lot.
We had some big margins in Div 2 and similar in St Vincent Private Hospital, Werribee Senior Women's as well. But shout out to Cal Rowe, played in the ruck for West Footscray. Copped a friendly, well, not so friendly boot in the face, I think, from a teammate, but she is okay. Unfortunately, though, they also lost. Yarraville said now 2 wins in a row. Parkside Spurs, obviously a strong team, still unbeaten, 112 points against Point Cook Centrals on the weekend. The Suns made it 2 in a row against North Footscray, and Laverton, the top scorer of the round as well, knocked over Caroline Springs. Is it Jamae Sawyers kicked 10 goals, Kayla Revanello bagged 7. So they certainly filled their boots on the weekend in senior women's footy. Let's move ahead to what's coming up this weekend, though, fellas. Hold your powder on Werribee Districts and Yarraville. Clearly the match of the round. What else are you looking forward to in round 8? Willow?
I'm looking forward to Parkside and Hoppers Crossing.
Yeah.
It's going to be a cracker. Like Hoppers Crossing got back on the winners list after a couple of big losses. While Parkside, they're trying to be the next contender, the next side to push for that top 3. So I'm really looking forward to that game. It's really a big 8-point game.
Absolutely, it is. Who's your tip?
Hoppers.
Yeah, I've gone Parkside on this one. I think they're going to continue their good run of form, and I think they're going to be too strong for Hoppers Crossing at home. I'm keen to have a little bit of a look at Altona and Albion. I think some quality back into the Altona side saw a much improved performance.
Because they've had some wild results, either big wins or big losses.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. They lost 2 weeks ago against Parkside by over 100 points, which is a really bad and embarrassing loss for them. But to come out on the weekend, I think they had 7 ins this weekend, and I expect a couple more. Some returning people from Albion, who former Altona players in Riley McDonald, Will Naismith, and even Josh Bench, had a stint at Altona. So yeah, he is. He's a premiership player. So I'm sure that they'll all be keen to come back and fire up for Albion, who again coming off a disappointing loss against Hoppers Crossing. But I actually think Altona, with a little bit of quality back in their side, might be able to get this one done.
Nah, I'm on the Cats. I think it's too important for them. They have to beat sides below them, and this is a must-win for them.
And Div 2?
Div 2, a couple of good games. In particular, in my opinion, Braybrook versus Auburn Vale. I think they're very evenly matched sides. I think it's going to be a great encounter. They've been around the same mark for most of the year. They're 4th and 5th, I think, at the moment, or 5th and 6th, rather. I think this is going to be probably the best game of the division, but not to rule out Wyndham Suns and Sunshine Heights. I think also another good game.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one because Suns really need to win to stay in that hunt for the top 5 role with the Brookers and all now. That is a real toss of the coin game. They've had some cracking games over the past few years, but I'm going to go to Brookers at home at Kennel Reserve.
Yeah, I think Braybrook as well. All
right, you mentioned the Suns and Sunshine Heights. Let's hear from 2 of their rising talents for both teams. Mitch Lahn of the Suns and Ariane Sarandis from Sunshine Heights as well. Well, Mitch, another busy off-season for you guys. Tell us about some of the new recruits that have come in and maybe think of 1 or 2 in particular who most excite you and you're looking forward to playing with.
It was definitely a good build over the off-season. And one in particular would be Rowan Matthews. So he's just come over from Hoppers, so pretty keen to see him and what he has to bring. So he's been pretty good on the track, so big expectations. So yeah.
And looking to build on last season, obviously you got to the finals, but then in the semi-finals you came up against a team who gave you a lot of trouble last year.
Yeah, I think just come short. I think. We're pretty burnt out with injuries and a couple other things. So I think, with this rebuild and, a good pre-season, I think we're looking pretty good to come to this season.
I think that semi-final was the closest you came to beating West Footscray. You were leading at half-time.
Yeah.
But did you feel even going into the game that perhaps you might be running out of legs late in the season just with the way that the squad was looking?
Maybe to do with injuries, that kind of the only thing. But apart from that, I thought we were going to have a good crack. So I was pretty happy to be up by half-time, but just a bit unfortunate couldn't run out the last 2 quarters.
Last year was your first full season playing senior footy?
First full season, at the Suns. Yeah.
How'd you find the step up?
It was definitely good. So I think I did play a couple of games as seniors last year at Point Cook Sharks and played 18s. And I think it's definitely coming into WRFL, it's been good. So the 18s level was a pretty good high level. And so that step up to the 18s I think was good as well. So,
what I guess have you noticed about the step up to senior footy? Is it quicker, harder? What did you kind of battle with the most? Yeah,
100% the fast pace has definitely picked up. So the skill level, you almost can just run to the spot and the ball will come to you if you're in the right spot. So.
And you managed to average a goal a game. Is that something you were wanting to add to your game? Does it sort of happen organically, or tell us about the season?
Not really, to be honest. It kind of happened organically. So I didn't even realise I was averaging a goal a game. So I'm pretty happy with that. So just trying to build my game slowly and just get to that next level.
You've been watching the WFNL Show. Stay tuned for the Arrow Transport Challenge coming up.
Tell us about how you've reflected on last year, and I guess you're a team going into the season. You thought you should be pushing for finals, but didn't quite end up that way.
Yeah, look, we were pretty disappointed last year. We had a couple of games away from the finals. Dropped, I think, 2 games by under a goal. So definitely this year we're looking to make finals and go deep into finals. So no other expectation.
It was a pretty kind of wild season in terms of the results. Big margins either way, which I guess was difficult to get an idea as to where you were placed in that league.
Yeah, look, there's a lot of top-end talent. I think the 2 top teams that made the grand final last year, they're pretty good, and they're going to take a real good beating, to beat them this year. But I think we're prepared, and we've had a really good pre-season. And I'm just excited to get on the track.
And tell us about your own pre-season. How many years have you been with the club now, and what are your expectations personally?
I've been at the club for 3 years now, and I've just been putting in the past 3 years. I've been getting better and better with my pre-season, a lot more running, and taking more of a vice captain role and senior role in the footy team, which I'm really excited.
Is that something that you wanted, the leadership role? Is it just because you've been at the club a few years and the coach has said to you, you're one of the more experienced guys?
It's definitely something I've pushed for. But I think I've seen myself as just in the game, always wanting to level up and get better. And I think, that's a step in the right direction for me.
Are you a vocal leader? Are you a lead by example type?
Definitely lead by example on the field with my actions, going in for a hard ball, head over the footy, chase down tackles. Definitely like an inspirational sort of leader on the field.
St Vincent Private Hospital, Werribee Senior Women's. I think the match on the round for me is 5th v 7. The Suns, who we just heard from there in Div 2, and West Footscray as well. So hopefully that is a cracker and we get some closer results in the weekend in Senior Women's as well. Willow, how do you think you'd go kicking a ball into a shipping container?
Is it one of those big ones you see down the box?
That's what I'm wondering as well, because I think I'd be a chance as long as the opening was wide enough.
They're as big as a shed, aren't they?
Yeah.
So people say, what is the side of a barn or something like that? Surely they can hit a shipping container, but how big's the hole? I don't know. Give it a crack.
That's all part of our Arrow Transport Challenge. Our next 4 contestants take on the shipping container goal kicking challenge. Jamie Day, can anyone beat his perfect score from last week?
Get moving with Arrow.
We're here for the Arrow Transport Challenge with the Western Football Netball League, competing with different teams and different players.
Mandy C, Suns Football Netball Club.
Shane Emery, Western Rams Football Club.
Pippa Nolan, Yarraville Saturn Eagles.
Jack Knight from Spotswood.
Well done as well to our Skins Special Effort Award recipients for last week, and this year all winners will receive a pair of compression tights thanks to Skins in recognition of a special effort on the footy field and the netball court. Let's roll into our plays of the week. Fellas, any standout performances, marks, goals out of your you-know-where from the weekend that you think might be in this?
Josh Girolamo took a cracking mark in our match of the day for the captain of the Point Cook Central Sharks. It was a terrific mark at halfback, so that's one to look out for during the week.
Well, his name lends to taking big marks, doesn't it? All falling out of the sky. Geronimo.
True.
Yeah. Anything for you, Spitter?
I think Brodie Katana kicked a nice goal for Yarraville Saturn.
Okay, plenty of great highlights, of course, across the weekend in senior footy. Here's the best of them.
That's Langan, who's got it. Not be too far out the score, so he goes to full forward. Big fly there at the back, and it's a mark.
Okay, we have been waiting to talk about this. Yarraville Saturn, Werribee districts, our TIV Division 1 match of the day. 88.9 Win FM is where you will hear this man, Willow, calling the action live on your local footy hub as well, broadcast by Sportscast Australia. Willow, can you make a case for Yarraville at all?
Yeah, they're a very good side. We know they're sitting third at the moment, and they've been on around the mark for the last couple of seasons, but they really need to take a big scalp if they're going to push up. They've lost to Caroline Springs early in the year. They have never beaten Werribee districts, which is a big stat. They have drawn with them once before, but they've just got to find a way to get over that hump. They're almost there. Can they get just that one more win? Maybe that'll give them the impetus to then push for that premiership this year.
Will Hoskin-Elliott hasn't played the last couple of weeks, I don't think. Obviously, one of your picks for the premiership, Spitter. Big game this weekend, at home as well, so chance to push a team that should be thereabouts again.
Yeah, look, I think if they're going to beat Werribee, this is probably a good opportunity for them and a time to justify their premiership credentials. I think they've had other avenues to goal, which is, I think, what will give them an opportunity to win this week. Catania, who I mentioned recently, kicked 4 on the weekend. Spencer Ray, Isaac Kadua, they've kicked 13, and 12 goals between them. So there are other avenues to goal, not just Hoskin-Elliott. I don't think they're relying completely on that. Should he be back in the side, it'd be a great addition. I think at home, I think is their best opportunity this week to beat Werribee.
First v third, 88.9 Win FM. What time would the broadcast start?
1:30 broadcast. First ball up 2:30.
Awesome. Well done, Willow, of course. That, as we mentioned, can be watched via the local footy hub, broadcast by Sportscast Australia. And thanks to the local footy hub as well, you can watch now live stream Belgravia Apparel netball competition matches. Head to local footy hub /stream on a Friday night to catch some of the key netball matchups taking place each week. Off the bench this week, Willow, well done to you.
Thanks for having me, Brett.
And Spitter, as always, thanks for joining us on the WFNL show.
Thank you.
Proudly supported, of course, by Arrow Transport.